do we really want to gamble with the possibility that there might be a hereafter, an eternity, that there might be a judgment, a spiritual judgment, where everyone faces a super judge, a judge who calls himself the Creator, God? We face judges and judicial systems here on earth. Why wouldn't there be a judicial system in the spiritual realm, in eternity, after the body has been parted with? Yeah, that's a big gamble. We should really weigh that possibility, because eternity is forever. And if we haven't been living right with God, there's much concern there. Because, who's going to represent us before God, before the judge? And what have I done to break his law? Have I broken any of God's laws? Just like, have I broken any laws here on earth? And if so, what were the laws that I broke? And how do I resolve it? There's usually a court date set. There's usually penalties and fees, and there's an attorney, people that will legally represent you. And there's a process, a judicial process. There's hearings, there's verdicts, there's recesses, all these things. And it's supposedly it's fair and just. And either a person is acquitted or they're judged guilty. Well, it's the same way when we face God. God is the supreme judge. And we see that the pattern here on earth in this physical existence is a reflection of how it is in eternity. It's a shadow. It's a shadow of the judicial system that's going to be in heaven. And there is a judge here. There's judges here. There's judges here on earth, and there's judges up in heaven. Well, one judge. And I guess if you've talked to a Christian will say that Christ is our advocate, is our attorney. He represents us before the Father. And I'm assuming there's similar procedures in other faiths about how to deal with presenting oneself before their Creator, before God, at the ultimate end of life's journey. Yeah, we should be concerned about that. How are we living our lives? Have we offended God? And how do we get on God's good graces? How do we get on God's good side? How are we redeemed? How do we redeem ourselves, or does someone else redeem us? Who pays off our debts? Who forgives us of our sins? Who releases us from incarceration? Who declares us innocent, and who declares us guilty? There's more to it than just what we experience here on earth. There's a heavenly judicial system, and God's judgment. God's judgment's going to be is actually might be more severe or more lenient, depending on where you stand with Him. Do we have our own righteousness? Are we going to approach God based on how supposedly good we think we are? I know that if I stand on my own merits, there's a big question mark. But if I approach God through a mediator, through a representative, I have a better chance in being seen as an acceptable, law-abiding, and person worthy to be pardoned and forgiven and to enter into His graces, into His heavenly realm.